order, so I want to welcome everybody to our City Council meeting on this beautiful Monday afternoon. It feels like summer out there today. It's nice and warm. I think it's just the beginning of what's to come, so stay in the air conditioning. I do want to let you know that we have agendas back here on the podium, so if you would like to grab an agenda, you're certainly welcome to do that, and then that way you can kind of follow along with everything that's going on. And also, this is what's considered our regular council meeting. Most of the items that we'll be discussing tonight, we've already discussed at our workshop in depth at that point in time. Tonight we'll be voting. So if you don't see a lot of discussion, don't be alarmed by that. That's kind of typically the way that we conduct our meetings with the workshop on the first Monday where there's in-depth discussion and information shared. And then at this meeting on the third Monday, it's basically voting on that information that we discussed at the workshop. All right, we are called to order, and I do want to recognize some special guests that are with us tonight. We have several members of our local Boy Scout troops, and it's good to have all of you with us this evening. They're working on their Eagle Scout designation, so part of that that work that they do for their Eagle Scout is to come to maybe a city council meeting or board of ed or a county commission meeting. So we're really glad to have all of you gentlemen with us this evening and appreciate the work that you're doing, and congratulations on being so close and working towards this amazing designation as the Eagle Scout. I know that's a lot of hard work, but it's something you can be very, very proud of. I know we in the community are proud of you. So we're glad to have you all here this evening. All right. I have asked if our Vice Mayor would please offer our prayer, and following that, we'll rise and we'll salute the flag. So I'll turn it over to Josh.
All right, please bow. You want to say, gracious Father, Lord, we just thank you for the day that you've given us, Lord, and we just ask that you lead us and guide us and just lay your hands on us as we handle the business of the city, Lord. In your most gracious name we do pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Josh. If you will, please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. All right, gentlemen, you have the agenda that is before you, and Jessica sent that out to us in plenty of time to review. And our city manager has asked, or Larry has asked, that we table item number 6. That's the estimated rollback millage rate for 2025, as there's still a lot of unknown information on property values, and they're still gathering details, and so it's a little bit early for us to be able to make that set that rate. So if you will consider a motion tabling that to maybe our next meeting, Larry, you think to the June meeting possibly? Okay. All right. So that's the only change that's been we've been asked.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda with line item 6 being removed.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that does carry unanimously. The next item is the approval of our May 5th meeting. That was our workshop, and that's in your packet. That was emailed to you. So I'll take a motion concerning those May 5th meetings. Minutes, excuse me.
Move to approve.
Okay, thank you.
Second.
All right, so I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And that does carry. All right, under public comments, we do have 3 people who have signed up to speak this evening. So what we'll do is we'll ask you to come to the podium, and if you will, please state your name and your address for the record. Jessica is our timekeeper, our city clerk, and each of you will have 5 minutes to speak to the council. And so the first person that has signed up is Faith Royal. So Faith, I'll let you come to the podium here if you will, and again, state your name and address, and then you have 5 minutes. Yes, good, yeah.
For some reason. Anyway, hello again. I know y'all figured out probably that I'm here to talk about spraying and Permex again. I wanted to make a point of how important that I personally think this is. Today, my closet exploded, my cabinet under my bathroom exploded, I have no faucet, and I managed to brave this devastation area and find something to wear and take a shower, because I think this is worth maybe another discussion and go around. Another point of this is that I'm very cognizant of what I put on and in my body, and I spend a little more on products with no toxins, feed my dog ingredients with only one, or treats with only one ingredient. There are already so many toxins in our environments, our water, food, everywhere. So for me, I simply cannot understand why we want to contribute to an ever-growing problem of toxins everywhere. We're losing our pollinators at an alarming rate. Our very survival depends on them. So again, it's my way of thinking, why endanger them? Why kill dragonflies that eat the mosquitoes? Why can't we kill them before they reach adulthood? There are so many mosquitoes, and they cover vast areas. They even find their way into my bedroom at the back of my house. And so again, I'm thinking that we really need to kill them. I think that's one flying around now, before they become biters. I think we should use BTI, which has absolutely no special precautions. Permex has several. For Permex, it says, keep off, there's a picture of a dog, an adult, and a child. Cover or remove children's outdoor toys. Cover or remove pet food and water. Cover ponds, bird baths, pools. Turn off your AC. Stay inside. There are also rules about when you can spray, and we have 3 provable instances now of Astro completely disregarding the rules about when they can spray as far as the wind speed. And I saw your article a couple of weeks ago regarding warning the community, and you indeed need to warn them. And whether you're legally required to or not, I just kind of wonder why you wouldn't just notify. Why we couldn't post, at the very least, these warnings to people so that they know, and that they know when the sprayings are going to go on. People don't seem to know much about this, and in the forums that we go on, they're not really informed. A lot of people just don't see these things. I only found out because of Let's Talk Tifton and Michelle, or I wouldn't have known anything about it either. I wanted to say, too, I don't think a simple Facebook post is too much, not for us to ask for. You've all been duly elected and entrusted with the well-being of our community and acting in our best interests, and I believe you all want to do that. And so I'd like to say that very respectfully, Mr. Hall, Mr. Franks, I know that you voted against, and I would really like to just ask you really consider making a motion just to revisit it, bring it back to the table, and maybe have a more in-depth discussion. I know I left y'all with a lot of handouts. I'm hoping that you read them. I think you all get now why we keep bringing this up, but I also thought maybe if you could post the directions to the mosquito death bucket. The community is also supposed to be responsible and kind of help with the whole stagnant water situation. And that's it. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Royal. All right, the next person to speak is Michelle Powers. Michelle, same thing, you know, to state your name and address, and then Jessica's our timekeeper.
I know the drill by
You
now. My 5th time. Michelle Powers, 2205 Davis Avenue. First, I would like to address that little news statement that was put out, that you put out about the Department of Agriculture finding Astro in 100% compliance during their audit inspection that was done. Astro had 2 weeks' notice on when and what time the inspection meeting would occur, 2 weeks to make sure all chemicals were labeled, things like the first aid box stocked, hazmat uniforms, and gloves readily available, etc. If restaurants were informed of when food scores inspections were to occur, I'm sure all restaurants would pass. Also, I received all the details of that audit meeting through open records request, and the Department of Ag inspector did not fully do his job because he did not penalize Astro for spraying in wind gusts of 18 miles per hour on April 3rd. The maximum allowed is 10 miles per hour. I have this here from the specimen label for Permex 44. This is federal, and it has to be followed. To keeping fog close to the ground, cool temperatures of ground, wind speeds are no greater than 10 miles per hour. Applications during cool hours of night or early morning usually preferable. This is a screenshot of just last Thursday, District 3, and it's time and date stamped, May 15th, 7:17 p.m. The stationary wind was 12 miles per hour, gusts were 20 miles per hour. I called Astro the following day, and they called me back, and I have a transcript of the voicemail. Good morning, Michelle. This is Rebecca, Astro Exterminating. Returning your call. We did spray District 3 last night. If you need us, let us know. Thank you. So this is confirmation that they broke the law. This isn't the first time. The first time I know the wind speed was April 3rd. It was gusts of 18 miles per hour. I think I forgot to make that screenshot, but I have it on my phone if you'd like to see it, date stamped, time stamped. In the audit meeting, the inspector did note to urge them to record wind speeds from here on out. They were not penalized for the April 3rd incident. They also did not heed this warning, obviously, because fast forward to May 15th when they sprayed District 3. Are we allowed to just pick and choose which laws and regulations to follow? Concerning your news piece saying that Permex 4.4 is safe for humans, pets, and environment, how can you say this when the material safety data sheet says that sensitive groups of humans and pets may be affected, and that it is highly toxic to pollinators such as bees and aquatics and vertebrates such as fish and turtles? Permex comes as is, pre-mixed, as clearly stated by the Astro rep that spoke at one of the prior council meetings. I have a screen recording of that. I'm asking the three that voted yes, how can you say that it's safe when this is all documented, that it's not safe? Like, to vote yes for the spraying and to make the statement that it's safe for humans, pets, and environment. I mean, do you have any other info than what's stated in the material safety data sheet? Mr. Hall or Mr. Frank? Julie?
We were relying on I was really glad that you called the Department of Ag, because that did help us to understand a lot of the information that was being shared. So I would rely on that as our state department that would regulate that industry. And the information that they provided to us gave me peace of mind that what we've done is safe.
Department of Ag did not say that it was safe. I spoke to Atlanta headquarters and the Tifton, and they said that the material safety data sheet and the product label is the law, and it must be followed. And the spray, the liquid comes pre-mixed, so that's as is. It's all in black and white. The Astro rep did say it was safe, but, you know, the Astro company stands to gain $52,800. At the last meeting a month ago, Mayor Julie, you said, when I brought up to ask Mr. Hall and Mr. Franks if they would make a motion to bring the contract back to the table, you said it had to be workshopped, discussed at the workshop, and then it could be discussed again at the council meeting. It's not on the agenda, and I was at the last meeting. It wasn't discussed, was it, unless it was executive session?
No, that would not be a category for executive session discussion. It would be up to the council members to bring it to the attention of the council with a motion that they would want to discuss it.
Oh, okay, but you said that it couldn't be done until it was workshopped.
It would need to be workshopped at that time. They could bring up the motion at any point in time, and then to provide more information, it would have to come through the workshop. That's where the information is distributed to all of us and to the public.
Okay, I'll ask him, Mr. Hall or Mr. Frank, would you make a motion to bring it back to the table to go over the contract and either change your vote or change it to BTI larvicide, which is safe and effective for everything except for mosquito larvae?
We talked to, the city manager first, Mr. Larry. What did the Department of Agriculture say? It said within that letter that they sent us, we were in 100% compliance with that spraying. That's what we released last week, right? Mm-hmm. Just to be real with the city, we don't make all the right decisions all the time, but we are in a contract right now with Astro for 2 years, and they are going to spray for 2 years. Because if we walk away from that contract, we're still liable for that contract, so it wouldn't make any sense for us to leave money there that we paid for.
Okay, so
and also as well, yeah. I really think our marketing team and everybody around the table has tried their best to expose and try to share as much as we can about when we were spraying and how we were spraying as well. I don't know what else we really could do more to what we're in now. I've also asked Adam as well, and we've already started that within about 2 weeks. We are dumping larvicide in all heavy bodies of water that the city maintains.
I did
And-
see that, somebody had
we
posted
are-
on Let's Talk Tifton, the picture of Fullwood Park ditch. Yeah, that's just like one ditch, and you did.
No,
You
yeah,
reached
we-
out
no,
to her,
no.
you reached out to her, and you went out and got that
yeah.
done. I'm just saying, if it was done with all the ditches and the ponds,
Well, that's what.
we wouldn't need the spray.
But let me finish, please. That's what we are doing. We are now doing that. Adam is looking for bodies of water that we in the city maintain. If we can throw out larvicide, we are throwing out larvicide. But at this time, I've had constituents just as much that it's for this spraying as well. They don't need to be here because they're satisfied with the spraying. I just don't see us leaving money on the table for something that we've already agreed to pay for. And Department of Ag has signed off on us and sent us a letter as well. And we can share that letter with you also. And from the lawyer here, Mr. Wilmot has shared that our contract is in that bond as well. And so that's the reason. But within these 2 years, now if we revisit it and have a discussion, maybe something might change. But right now, the city is fine to a contract with Astro to spray.
I understand that. But to continue spraying when it is harmful, according to all the official material safety data sheet and the specimen label, I personally, I would rather lose the 52,800 than continue spraying every week. And the fact that the Department of Ag inspector said that they were 100% in compliance, I see those records too, and that's not what they said. But the point of not doing the spray isn't because of that. It was all the other points that all of us, have brought up before about it's killing all the pollinators and it's harmful to some pets and some humans, so like that have asthma.
I have asthma
yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Should-
I mean, but to
Michelle,
continue spraying just because we don't want to waste the money.
I mean, I'm just,
Yeah.
I'm not here to fuss. I'm just
Yeah.
trying
Michelle, I
to do
hate
my
to
best.
cut
I'm
you
trying
off,
to
but
do
that's
my
the
best
5 minutes.
will
All right, I
of
got some stuff
what I can
that I
do
can leave
for
with you.
Okay.
the city. So
Mr. Frank, I didn't ask Mr. Franks, will you make a
Michelle,
motion?
we've got the 5 minutes are up. I'm trying to be respectful of everyone's
Okay.
time. The next person that would like to speak is Sherry Johnson. So Sherry, I'd ask for you to, the same, state your name and address, and then Jessica will be our timekeeper at 5 minutes.
Hey. Hey, I'm Sherry Johnson. I live at 4012 London Lane. We're off Carpenter Road. I get 100% compliance. I understand you got contracts, you got things that people voted on, but that doesn't mean 100% morality. MJ, we went to school together. We went to Biology 101, we went to Science 101. We know that bees and other insects are the gatekeepers to our environment and our sustainability. So,
Sherry, can I ask you a quick question?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but
No,
I do
you're
have a
fine.
question. Is London Lane in the city?
county, she
Okay.
told, are you fine?
Yeah, the reason I ask that is you know that the county does spray in your neighborhood.
Not in my neighborhood. I have not seen once in this entire
The
time.
county does spray periodically in the unincorporated
And that's
area.
fine. I'm against
Yeah.
it, so
Okay.
it's
okay.
okay,
I just didn't know
yeah.
if you lived in the city or not. I was just
Thank
trying
you.
to
Yes,
make
ma'am.
sense of that. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
And I did after the fact.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I think you
No,
addressed
after
the
the fact I
comment
did.
to MJ.
So I'm addressing Miss Julie now.
okay.
Or
Go
the
ahead.
council, the council.
Okay.
I apologize.
Okay, no, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. So we know that pesticide hurts bees. That's Biology 101. We are taught as children that bees are gatekeepers to the world's prosperity. You are doing that with contracts. I understand you have things that you've already paid for, your constituents have agreed on, but you are doing that at your discretion and your whim, based off people that don't have all the facts. Everybody knows that some people are gullible. They go with what people say because that's who they are and that's who they look forward to. Mr. Lester, I appreciate you. Miss Julie, Miss Reynolds, Mr. Hall, Mr. Franks. We all look at you and say, we appreciate you, and we look at you towards leaders. Some people do that with the aspect that you are going to do what's best in their interest. So, with that being said, people are gullible to this position of power. These chemicals have been proven to kill bees. I don't know if you care. If you don't care, please speak up and say that. It takes an entitled mind to think that killing off whole colonies of insects that does our environment massive good is the solution. It shows in data that humans should not inhale the chemical that this company is releasing for various reasons that are available to you all. You are exposed to it for multiple points for no reason. Mosquitoes are waterborne, but the city of Templeton has a problematic natural water sources available that would produce these actual mosquitoes. The county has an extremely small amount of sources, less than 99% of the ponds and lakes in this county. Mosquitoes are known to travel 1 to 3 miles. The fact that you are doing this to say, hey, these particular streets, these particular areas, we should spray, but you're not spraying in the water sources. You're not spraying in the ditches. You're not focusing. You're just going around in streets. You're not focusing on ditches and ponds and lakes. You're just spraying in streets. I have proof of Astro spraying during a Tift County Rec Department track meet that subjected parents and children to their pesticides. What over in Northeast Middle School could they possibly have been spraying to? What? Name me one pond over there that they could have gone around the school and killed mosquitoes. There's no pond source. None over there, not a single one. But they sprayed and had us lined up back to back to back to back, inhaling the sprayer off the back of the truck. If you're going to do this, do it in the ponds, do it in the ditches, do it in the water sources. You don't do that. You just pay Astro to just drive around the county, and this, not the county, I'm sorry, drive around the city, spray. When you could just spray a little bit of and be done with it. No, y'all just pay them to drive around. Spraying pesticides that kill needed insects and subject the public to poison and possibly harm citizens is not the answer. Y'all are paying money to a company to do what they want without oversight. Tell Astro to point at the ditches. Tell Astro to point at the lakes. Point Astro to point at the stagnant water in the ditches. Tell Astro to point at the ponds. You don't. You just give them money
Ma'am.
to just drive around.
Okay, we
I'm
do have
done.
rules of decorum. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right, that concludes our public comments. Our next item is a presentation, so I'm going to call on Ms. Tanya Tift. She's got some wonderful news, and we have an Anthony G. Bateman Youth Center Scholarship. So Tanya, I'll turn it over to you and let you introduce our special guests.
So, I'm here to brighten the mood. Okay? This is always just a good time of year just because we are in our second year of doing our Anthony Bateman Scholarship, and so we're awarding our second scholarship year. And so we're excited to bring back
thank you.
our first recipient. Yes.
Don't forget the microphone. Lester reminded you that your voice is not going to pick up on, it's not for in here, it's so to pick up on the YouTube feed.
Yes, okay, here at.
Thank you.
All right, so we're excited to bring back our scholarship recipient from last year. We're starting a tradition, and she didn't know it, and Antron doesn't know it, and you all don't know it. So because now we have 2 scholarship recipients for the Bateman Center, our 2024 recipient now is going to present our plaque. I'm going to present the check, and so next year, Antron will present the plaque, and I will present the check. So I'm going to have Emily Richards, who is our 2024 recipient, our first recipient of the Anthony G. Bateman Scholarship, to present Antron. Let me just tell you a little bit about him. This young man is so amazing. If you have gone to the Bateman Youth Center, you have seen the mural that is painted on the building on the outside. So Antron got an opportunity to help our muralist, Mr. Broderick Flanagan, paint the mural. He was looking for a student to actually come and just kind of be like an understudy for him. And so he found Antron. And you can go out there and see the artist's signature on the building. So Antron now is signing like an artist, okay? You know, Dr. Scribble, artist. And so I'm so proud of Antron. He has gone to higher heights in just a short period of time. I mean, you know, he's really on millionaire status. He doesn't know it yet, but he's there. And so, he's had his first painting auction off at the Arts Gala last year, and I mean, he's gone on with that. And then, I'm a member of the Tiffany Women's Club. We had our local art thing, and so they entered that. They didn't, they entered his art piece. He got second place, and then they took it on up to the next level, He got first place. So he has been winning, winning, winning. Then he goes to the prom. Of course, you know, Emily, she's the prom queen. She is the prom queen. You know, and then he goes to the prom this past year. He's the prom king. So I'm just telling you, we're just doing it big. I'm telling you, I always hang with yes people. I told y'all, that's still my motto, just say yes. And so I'm just so proud of Antron. She goes to Kennesaw State, and he is right behind her, going to Kennesaw State
That's
this upcoming
wonderful.
fall. I just cannot, you know, I'm just so excited and proud of these two young people. Antron he doesn't know this yet. Just say yes. Next week, or this week actually, I want him to go and talk to the children at the youth center. He's going to go one of these days this week just to say hey, and just to say, hey, I can do it. You know how to do that. And so I'm just so excited for you, and just the things that you're already on your way, and you already know this, okay? You already know this. And so Emily is going to present you with a plaque, okay? All right? Let this picture, let her get that picture. These two recipients, great people, yes. And they know each other.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And I'm going to present you with $2. I will sit this down. Now this one, because, come on, Mom. I want to see everybody. Come on. Oh, you got it right there. Come on in, whatever. All right. You want to come down. That way everybody can hear. This is a $2 check. It's real good, very good. Got it? All right. All right. Okay, so now look, I'm gonna be reneged. I'm gonna take my check. And I'm gonna give you a real check. You get ready to get off of Kennesaw State. This is our perpetual check, and we're so proud of you. And we know, like Emily, you're gonna go to Kennesaw State. You're gonna do great things. You're gonna come back, share what you learned, and just share it. And part of these students this week, one day you choose Tuesdays or Thursdays, but they want to talk to you, and we'll make it happen. Okay, I'm so proud of you, and I know it's gonna continue to be great. Thank you so much, and continue to do well.
I had the opportunity to meet Antron and his wonderful mother at the Arts Gala last year. I know MJ, you did too, and several of us did. And he is so talented and such a kind young gentleman. And so, Antron, we are extremely proud of you and know that you'll go far. And we just wish you nothing but success and all the best in the world. In any way that any of us can ever be of assistance to you, we're a phone call away. So, gentlemen, any comments you'd like to make?
I'd just like to say I think he's artistic, athletic. I got to know him through the wrestling program with Jackson running around, and he leads by example. And I appreciate you. Couldn't think of a better person with a scholarship to go to. Well done.
Yeah. I just want to say
Yeah.
same as well. I know him very well. He did very well on that mural when we worked together. And I also just want to speak on behalf of the Anthony Bateman Youth Center. I mean, the great things that they're producing and what they're doing, and being able to do this type of stuff. This is what really matters for the city of
Absolutely.
Tifton, to be able to do that. And for the young lady to come back and present that award. Awesome, Miss Tiff, and keep up the good work, brother. We're going to be praying for you all the way.
That's right.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Antron, for being here. And thank you, Dr. Tift. It's always good to get good news like that, and that impacts our community in such a positive way. All right, gentlemen, the next two items on our agenda are the consent agenda, and as you know, we can vote on those together. We can take them individually. One is for the Juneteenth celebration to be a festival, and then the other is the SRO agreement with Tift County Schools. So I'll take a motion however you prefer to handle those.
We can take them together.
Okay, motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion to approve together and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That carries. All right, under new business, we have a rezoning request for .45 acres located at 305 East 22nd Street, and that's being submitted by Jonathan Garvey, wanting to rezone that from general business to R10, residential 10. And we heard about that in a public hearing at our last meeting, and then that was on our workshop agenda as well. So I'll take a motion concerning that ordinance rezoning.
Mayor, this is in District 1, and I'd like to make a motion for approval for this.
Okay?
Second.
So we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That carries. All right, our next item, if you will recall, this relates to the South Georgia Energy Authority. If you'll recall, several months ago, Matt Seal from the Douglas Coffee County Chamber of Commerce and Development Authority came and talked about that. And that has been, all of that Energy Authority has been approved, so the governor did sign that into law, so we can create that Energy Authority, which will allow us to improve our natural gas line, which will allow us to create more jobs and to expand that across the South Georgia region. So as a result of being on that line, we do have an appointee that we can put on that authority. The next step, once the authority is approved and they've been put together and sworn in, they will then select three economic developers from the area to also add to that authority, and then that will become the authority. So I'd like to recommend Adam Cobb as our appointment. He is the Public Works and knows natural gas and understands this process, and so I cannot make that motion, but I would like to recommend him if one of you would be willing to make the motion. Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. That was quick, Adam. Is there any further discussion?
Frank's did.
And then Lester seconded. All right, is there any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, congratulations, Adam. One more thing to your list of things to do.
He wears many hats, doesn't he?
He wears lots of hats. And if you remember, we tabled item number 6, so we'll skip past that. Larry, you want to talk about the 2026 budget?
Yeah, before you, these council members, we have a folder.
Yes, sir.
City manager's duties and responsibilities as outlined in the charter for the city of Tifton. You'll find a balanced budget for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2026. This budget, for all funds, it totals $74,055,937, which is a decrease of $9,422,000 over last year's budget. The general fund is budgeted at $19,185,947, which is also a $1.2 million reduction from last year's budget, which is about a 6.2% decrease. Just review that over the next 3 weeks, and if you have any questions, just feel free to contact me. The budget will be available to the public starting tomorrow morning in the City Hall lobby from 8:30 to 5 p.m. every day for the next 3 weeks. And then there will be a detailed budget presentation here at City Hall on June 9th at 4 p.m. for the City Council and the public, with a public hearing at 5:30 that same day.
Okay. And what time is the presentation? Is that
4 p.m. on June the
4?
9th.
Okay. What?
That be flexible?
Yeah.
Okay.
You-
I just don't want us to say, because we didn't publicize that.
Okay, okay, no problem.
Yet, so,
But
Yeah.
it will be June 9th, we'll just be that after.
yeah,
Okay.
June, yeah.
Okay,
June.
no problem.
I think we're going to publicize the 5:30 public hearing part of it.
Yeah, that's all that
Yeah.
was done. The past couple years, we did it at 4, and we had a significant amount of time laid over. So
Right.
just want to, once we get closer,
Yeah.
you see how much time you need, an hour and a half is,
Yeah, we can be flexible on that,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
But the public hearing would definitely be at 5:30. Yeah.
okay. All right, any questions, gentlemen? Till we delve into it, I guess we don't at this point. Thank you, Larry, for
All right,
providing
yeah,
that.
it's a lot of numbers. Just call me if you got any questions.
We will, trust me.
But we'll go over it in detail on June 9th.
Okay, perfect. All right. All right, gentlemen, under other business, the next item is our board report. And as you can see, we have one applicant on the Tifton Housing Authority, which is Dina Willis. She is seeking reappointment, and the Housing Authority Board has recommended reappointing her. She's been a good member and been very involved with that board. We do have 3 vacancies available on the Keep Tift Beautiful Board. The Ethics Board, Rob, any update on where we are with that?
I don't, Mayor. I think, I got some information from the State Bar.
Okay.
How they want to go through the application process.
Okay,
Looked a little cumbersome to me.
yeah. Okay, so we'll just kind of put a pin in that one for now. But anyway, gentlemen, if you'd like, I'd like to go ahead and, let's go ahead and get Dina reappointed, so I'll take a motion. Okay, thank you.
Second.
All right, thank you. We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? So Dina has been reappointed to the Housing Authority, and we appreciate her dedication to that board. All right, Larry?
Mayor, can I
Yes,
interject
sure,
real quick?
please.
I see where Ms. Self, filled out an application, and we obviously have a couple vacancies on other boards. I was just wondering, Jessica, do you think she might be interested in serving in another role?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's a good idea. Thank you, Josh. All right, financial report, Larry?
Financial report through April 30th of this year. You have a detailed financial report and a summary. I'll go over the summary, and if you have any questions, you can ask me.
That's fine.
Looking at through April, total revenues through April was $15,427,208. Total expenditures $15,402,483, with net revenues over expenditures of $24,724. So property taxes have started coming in. We've got in $3.3 million of the $4 million that we had projected. The balance of $600,000 is hopefully will be coming in, but part of that is all these appeals on property values. They were only billed at 85% of their value, so that's the shortfall also. So once those are settled, then it will settle out on the
Right.
final balance on that. But hopefully we can get all those resolved over the next couple of months.
Okay.
But we did get back in the black. That's the good thing.
That's
So-
good.
So hopefully that
We
other
knew we would.
600,000 will come in and we finish out the year
Yeah.
on a positive note. Enterprise funds, all of them are operating favorably. Water fund, total revenues $3,953,115. Total expenditures $2,751,851. Net revenues over expenditures $1,201,264. Sewer fund, total revenues $4,831,732. Total expenditures $3,726,890, with net revenues over expenditures of $1,104,842. Gas fund, total revenues $5,116,261. Total expenditures $3,758,107, with net revenues over expenditures of $1,358,153. And the solid waste fund is holding its own. Total revenues $4,077,879. Total expenditures $3,364,550, with net revenues over expenditures of $713,328. So
Very good.
we're in good position. So everything's good.
Good. Well, we appreciate you keeping us in that good position.
Being good stewards of the people's money.
Yep, thank you for that. Any questions, gentlemen, or comments for Larry? Okay. All right, Larry, you want to go ahead and go into the city manager report, please?
All right. Well, the police department, Chief Hyman and I met with Georgia Power last week about adding some more street lights in dark areas in the city. And also, we're looking at upgrading street lights that we presently have to LED for cost savings and for better
Good.
improved lighting. So we're
Good.
looking at the whole gamut there to just improve the lighting around the city. And
Perfect.
we hadn't got any cost figures on that yet, but I think it's a good idea for the safety of the citizens and our police force
Yep.
to improve the lighting. So we're looking at that. The fire department, I want to thank them for a fish fry they did for the seniors last Friday. They were out there in that hot sun frying fish, so I appreciate them. I think they had like 150 to 200 seniors over there that enjoyed that fish.
That's always a
so-
popular event.
and I understand they were back at it again cooking for the EMS, so they're cooking machines over there, so we appreciate them. The landfill, we had some contractors move in to repair the retention pond that was damaged during Hurricane Helene. We had a blowout on the dam portion of it. I think this is the second time that this has happened, that we've had a intrusion on the dam. So they're putting some cement in this time, so hopefully we won't have this occur anymore. So hopefully we'll get that resolved. But FEMA is helping with the cost of that. We'll get about $4,500
Good.
from FEMA to cover that. So they should be finishing up on that tomorrow, so it's like a 3-day job. Also, we received $91,000 from FEMA for the road that was washed out at the landfill, so we got that money in, so we appreciate that. And also, we got another $53,000 from FEMA for police and fire response during Hurricane Helene. And we're still anticipating getting another $80,000 to $90,000 for the debris removal that we incurred from the hurricane. Let's see. We're also moving forward with the permitting process at the landfill. We have a projected 19 months left on the present landfill, so we need to get that permitting process going for the expansion. So we're still working on that. On the LMIG 2024, we're doing night paving now. We did some night paving on Virginia Avenue, and this week it'll be some night paving for Magnolia and First Street. So we're proceeding through those 46 roads that we have in LMIG 24, which is, let's see, it's like 15 miles.
Wow.
Is in LMIG 24. So over the past year, we've paved 21 miles of city streets, which is like 15% of what we have. So we're moving along with that. Also, I got with Adam about, we have a lot of streets with potholes, and we're doing a pothole operation here. We're going to take each district and map out where the potholes and the street cuts are needed, and try to map them out where we can take care of them. And we'll take each district one at a time. It might take us a couple of months, but hopefully you'll see a big improvement on that too. And I appreciate Adam doing that. So.
Yes, very much.
Fullwood Park stage is moving along. They just poured the concrete stage for the surface, so they're moving along with that. The 18th Street bridges, RPI contractors, they're having to move the water and gas lines before the Southern Concrete can get in there to start replacing the bridges, so that's moving along. We're still wrestling with ABAC and the University of Georgia school system about the easements for the lift station at ABAC, so hopefully we'll get through that. Rob's been wrestling with them for I think 2 years now, close to it, so hopefully we'll get a resolution of that shortly. The other 3 ARPA projects, we're waiting on materials to come in on those where we can proceed with those. Jessica's been doing a great job with the CHIP and CDBG grants on rehab of homes. And we just received will be receiving another grant for $500,000 for additional homes we can rehab. So that's probably about $1.7 million in rehabs that we'll be doing over the next few years, so that's great. Let's see, we're working on finalizing a grant with FEMA for 5 portable generators that we need for water and sewer. We have 26 water and sewer sites that we have to keep up in a storm if there's a power outage, and so we need more generators, so we're working on that. That's about a $900,000 grant for portable generators, so we're excited about that. The Shorten Park Renaissance project, we just received word we're going to get a reduction in the interest rate, so that'll save us some money on that, the loan that we had for that. The theater roof is about 75% completed, and we've got the new curtains up in the theater, so it's ready to go for the big play and musical that's coming up June 20th to the 22nd, the Little Mermaid musical. So we're excited about that. Kezia is doing a great job at the theater, so she's keeping that thing booked, and we're excited about the musical coming up. And Hillary's doing a great job downtown with the farmers market every Saturday. And June, we got First Friday coming up, and June 2nd Saturday, so a lot going on.
There is a lot going on. All right. Any questions, gentlemen? Larry's report. It's a good report, Larry. Thank you. All right. Before we conclude our meeting, we will need to go into executive session for legal purposes, but it is time for mayor and council comments. So I'll turn it over to y'all to make any comments you'd like to make.
I just want to say thank you, all the young men and the Boy Scouts trying to get your Eagle Scout, for working hard and doing everything that you're doing, and we appreciate you guys coming tonight. Want to say congratulations to Antron again. I mean, I can't think of a better kid to get that scholarship.
Amen.
Job well done. Chief Hyman for getting all them flock cameras up and going and keeping the city safe. Adam for wearing many, many hats, as you always do. A lot of great things going on in the city. I do want to say that, you know, sitting up here in this role, we're not always going to please everybody all the time. Sometimes we have to make some very hard decisions, you know. But we do our homework, we pray about it, and we make the decision that we make. And that's not to step on anybody's toes, because, you know, we're here to do the good of the city. And whether somebody agrees with our decision or not, you know, that doesn't mean that we can't be cordial and be friendly. So with that being said, those are my comments tonight.
Okay, all right, thank you. Thank you very much. All right, anybody else? I was just going to wrap up and remind everybody that Monday, May the 26th is Memorial Day, and we do have a Memorial Day service that Jack Stone puts together every year for us, along with the Veterans Day service. And he's always so proud to be there, and we're so proud to have Jack as our community representative. He is, if it has anything to do with our the men and women who deserve so much as our veterans, Jack is always at the helm for that. So the Memorial Day service will be in our Veterans Park across the way over here, and that will be on Monday, May the 26th at 11. And then also there's a group of individuals who will be putting the flags out on the graves of our veterans at our cemetery, and then they'll move on to other cemeteries. And I believe that's on Saturday. Yeah, do you remember what time it was?
I had to go back and look.
I meant to make a note.
Greg put a thing
Yeah,
out.
Greg Miller,
American Legion.
and with the American Legion. If you have the opportunity to go and do that, it's really moving. It's fun because you're with a group of people who are engaging and fun to be with, but it's very moving when you go through the cemetery and you see all of the men and women who have served our community that we're putting those flags out for. What time does it say? What time?
Yeah, so if anybody's interested, it's going to be this Saturday at 9 a.m., and we'll meet at Oak Ridge Cemetery, and from there we'll go out to Tiff Memorial Gardens.
Perfect.
If anybody's interested, please reach out to Greg Miller at 478-319-3716. Again, that's 478-319-3716.
Thank you. Thank you for that. And try to go and participate in that if you can. It's really very moving and memorable. Anything else before we go into executive session? All right. I will take a motion to go into executive session for legal.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All right, that carries. We'll take a quick break and then we'll go